Good evening, parents. Welcome to Back to School Night for period 2, 3, 4, and 5. I am Mr. Hamilton, and I teach social studies for 8th grade. I've been here in Paramount for about 21 years. This is my 22nd year, so I am comfortable and confident that I can get your student proficient in American history. Now, throughout this presentation, you'll see a scan code. Please feel free to scan, and also, um, yeah, just feel free to scan. Okay. We are certainly into 21st century skills right now with this pandemic and distant learning. It certainly has forced us into using a lot of ed tech. I've been using ed tech for a while, so I'm comfortable, but it is a lot of work. And I know it's a lot of work for our students as well. But we've been here for about a month, and I have noticed that kids are really stepping up and really flourishing in this virtual environment. But there's still some expectations, and I want to go over those things with you now. Now, some of the expectations that we have for our digital distant learning time. Um, as you see in the quote, I expect 8th graders to be able to work through the course independently. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't need some support from you, but they can certainly navigate the coursework and get things turned in pretty much independently. So when they come into our conference time, I'm expecting them to respect our time, and we go over that all the time, to turn in their assignments on time. I try to give them plenty of time, 1 week or 5 days from the day that it was assigned, and then another, and that is for full credit, and then another 5 days for partial credit. I've set up the course in such a way that it's on demand. So they are to go through the digital course in sequential order. Let me show you an example. Now, I'm in our homepage in Schoology, and as you can see here, um, I'm in the digital courses, asynchronous, which means that they do this independently on their own time. Now, when I click the drop down button, uh, you can see we started with digital citizenship. I'm going to make that extra credit for them. But where we really started was with why study history. And they are to click through each of these until they get to the next task. Currently, we are in chapter 3, and this will continue on, whether we are in distant learning or not, or we get back to school eventually. And each one is sequential. They look at the introduction. When they look at the introduction folder and complete everything in there, it will unlock the next objective or next task. Um, I know that we have experienced some problems. They'll click it and it'll say private access. That's because they're clicking out of order. So they are to go in order. I try to include video, lecture video, how to directions, everything that they would need to be successful in completing their coursework on time. Now, still in our digital course, they will, there are some how-to videos here in the welcome folder. Okay. So when they click on welcome and they click on how-to and other stuff, they can click here and this will take them to a page that is still a work in progress, but will show them all types of videos that'll help them and answer some of their questions. And these are how to, basically, technology how to, finding our textbook in Nat Geo, um, how to use the app, how to play certain games that we use, how to download the worksheet. So I'm adding to this. This is a work in progress. It'll probably continue to grow throughout the year, but this is a place to answer those questions. Okay, so that's the how to watch those lecture videos. Seeking help and asking for a conference. Now, here's where you come in, mom and dad, um, because sometimes that's not enough, uh, and sometimes they would like some face-to-face time where we can sit and talk, and I can provide more clarification, and that's where they come and ask for a conference. So, parents, I would hope that you would encourage your student to send me a message. I have office hours Monday through Friday, 1:45 to 2:45. This would be something that would take place during class or during school hours. And they would simply message me in Schoology and they would say, "Hi, Mr. Hamilton, can we meet today during office hours?" And certainly I would reply and I would click on the conference button and set up a link for them to come and ask questions. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to keep them the whole time. Okay, if it requires an hour, I'll stay for an hour. If it only requires a few minutes, then of course I'll stay for those few minutes. A few other expectations. When you click that scan me, it'll come, you'll see the grading policy. You'll also see the expectations for achievement. I'm expecting each of the kids to be able to achieve 85% or higher, especially with all the on demand videos and how to videos and requesting a conference. Yeah, it's a high expectation, but I know that our students can achieve it. Homework, yes, there is homework. Anything that's not finished in class is homework. They can visit the Schoology calendar, the part on the right hand side that shows all the upcoming assignments. They can work on there. Here, back over in our course, this is the upcoming pane or column or part of the web page. Okay, and it gives dates. You can click on this calendar and it'll show. I do mark things missing. So whenever they see the things missing in Schoology, that means that they've been given the 5 days, and now they have another 5 days to get it in for partial credit. So encourage them to get these things in the time given. You see a picture of our textbook. I know that students have already stopped by the school to pick these things up. They may not have the history notebook here. I think, matter of fact, that's the sixth grade book, so ignore that. I didn't update that. But our eighth grade history book is here on the left, and they are just, they can use it certainly at home, and they know how to find the Nat Geo app that has our textbook. And if they don't, there's a how to video in the welcome folder. One way that I manage the class virtually and how I plan to manage the class in person is through game design, using escape rooms as a alternative to reading the textbook. Um, Escape rooms are more fun in person, but I haven't tried one in this virtual setting, but we'll see how it goes. Also, the second one you see here is a quizzes game. It's quizzes.com. They can show you what that looks like and possibly show you some quizzes that they've completed. And I like to use these as a review to check for understanding after the reading. And it is sequenced in our course. So after they've done the reading and highlighting, they would, have this game, and they would have unlimited chances to get the best score that they can achieve. To encourage them to complete these things, I use something called class craft. So when they're completing the reading activity and the reading check activity and the video activities, I reward their avatar. Let's take a look. This is ClassCraft. It's a positive reinforcement tool that I like to use in our virtual setting as well as in our in-person setting. And as you can see here, you have a student that is level 6 already, which is pretty fast, but they have HP. These are hit points. Now, whenever they don't turn something in, I take from those hit points. If they are misbehaving in our conference, I take from those hit points. The ability points AP allows them to use powers because they get multiple opportunities, to show me what they know. And they use these AP points to, use for powers. Let's say that a due date has passed. Guess what? They can come here, use one of their powers to unlock an old assignment or to get me to regrade a poor assignment. So, and then you have XP, their experience points. Okay, and if you see that they're leveling up, then they're doing pretty well. They're completing the assignments. Uh, they're getting a good grade on the assignments, especially some of the games that we play in class. So I encourage you to ask your student to let you see their current character, because this is how we encourage them to stay on track and to stay focused and to offer multiple opportunities. So, some final thoughts, parents. They do have multiple opportunities. I'm here to help them be successful, not to hinder them. And so, but they do have to do the work. They have to put in the effort. They have to be willing to participate. And if they do, they will do fine. As long as they try, they'll do fine in this class, in virtual distant learning or in person, either way. If you need to contact me, my email is at the end, and it's also on the syllabus if you were able to scan it. But I'll show it to you at the end of this presentation. It says here to check Planner weekly. I forgot to take that out, but check Schoology weekly, and you can. And if you want access to their class craft characters, so you can keep tabs on some of the behaviors, positive and negative, that are showing up in class, just reach out to me via email. So thank you once again for your support and your support through this historic and difficult time for most of us. But I see sunlight at the end of the tunnel. I think we'll be back sooner rather than later, hopefully. But there's my email. You can reach out to me here, or you can send me a message in Schoology. Those are probably the two fastest ways to contact me. And also, one final thing: if your student is having problems getting on to the conference, I would ask that they just reach out to me in some type of message, preferably Schoology, and that way I can keep track of the attendance, because I know that some people, including myself, will have internet issues, and we won't be able to get on at the right time. They're not marked tardy, so no worries there, as long as they're there for most of the time. Okay, so thank you so much and have a good evening.